All right, hello everyone. Today I want to go through the workflow that I use when I'm doing AI projects. So everybody is going to have a different way that they go about doing AI projects and how what works for them. But I wanted to showcase how I do it and the way that I think is pretty useful. So the first thing that I want to say is actually you don't really need that much technical skills to be able to do this. Unfortunately, trust me, I have almost every incentive to say, like, no, AI will never be able to replace software engineers. All of that. It's pretty good. It's really good. So, anyways, let me show you what I do when I am trying to build my AI projects and how I'm playing around with the systems. So, high level, what I'm going to be doing is this. So first off, I am going to be trying to figure out, number one, what project am I even trying to do? So the generation phase of things, trying to figure out what the project should be, what should it look like, just a very high level understanding of what this project is going to be. Then once I have that, I need to actually encapsulate that, capture what I have, the brainstorm phase, and then be able to put it to the agent and say, okay, agent here, now go and start making this project. So that's step number two, is being able to get the agent to even start doing it. Okay, after that, I then go and that's more of the testing phase. So trying to actually get the project to, work even in a minimally viable way. Just testing it, changing what you like, what you don't like, etc. Then once the testing is done, okay, now we can move on to what I find more of the fun part, which is creating two documents. Number one is going to be an implementation guide. And what that is going to do is, okay, now we have a project, a baseline project. Here's how we're going to move forward with it. Here's how we're going to take this from just like the beginning stages to something which is uh, more of a finished project and at a higher level. The second document that I like producing is like a concepts document. And what this is going to be is, as an engineer, I obviously am really fascinated with what AI can do and the power that it has. That I'm able to develop these projects, these really cool projects, very quickly, and I'm able to have an actual like project that I'm able to, just iterate on, and I like to be able to build all of that, all of this really cool stuff. But I'm also, as like an engineer at heart, I enjoy to understand how is it actually working. So I create this like concepts document that goes through and explains everything. So, all right, let me come here, make myself a little bit smaller, and I will show you the way that I start doing things. So first, oh, I forgot to float on top. Hold on one second. There we go. Ah, hello again. So what I do is I start off and I just come to the web version of Claude, right? And what I do here is I come and let's see. I will want to be in this one. Okay, so I described that, okay, first step is to try to figure out what kind of project do you even want to build, right? And so in this one, I forgot to attach it, but I attached my resume and let me move myself there, right? Like I kind of described who I am, what I'm trying to do, and what the project should be. Okay, great. So now, once I described kind of the general outline of what I want this project to accomplish, and then this is the brainstorming phase of things. Okay, so then I attach my resume. I said, okay, great. Now, then it gives a whole bunch of options, right? Okay, you can have some like games or interactive experiences here. And then I read through all of these AI powered tools. Here's some more project ideas that kind of fit what you're hoping to build. Okay, okay, okay. And obviously, at this point, we're not trying to implement anything. We're not trying to actually build anything or understand what's going on. We're not worried about how difficult it's going to be. None of that. We're just trying to figure out what project do we want to build at this point, right? Hardware, because my background is actually from electrical engineering. So I said, okay, maybe you can integrate hardware and a software project together, right? So read through all of these different things. Okay, it gives you a whole list of things that you might be interested in. Okay, that's great. Now, what I did was I took the top ones out of all of those different. Oh, here it has that it saw that I'm able to speak Chinese on my resume, and it's you can do a Mandarin project. So it listed out a whole bunch of projects that I might be interested in. And then I looked at those and then I picked like my top 5 or 3 or whatever it was, the ones that seemed a little bit interesting. And then what I said was just like, okay, well, here are some that caught my eye, and I refined it a little bit more because as it shows up here, it kind of gives a very rough outline of what the project might be. But reading it, it kind of inspired me. Oh, let's go in this other direction. I kind of like, like, oh, that's an interesting idea, but maybe I want it to be a little bit different. It was a good starting point, but then I want to head in that direction. So then go through and change the stuff that you do or don't want to do, right? And then what you're able to do is then you come here and say, okay, great. Now, here are the higher level projects which I am kind of interested in building, but I haven't committed to anything yet. Can you flesh out the ideas a little bit more? So now we're going from something very general and trying to condense it down and refine things to what we actually want. And so the where we're trying to go is get to the point where we're actually having the project that we want to build, right? We're trying to refine it down to what we actually want. Then we're going to take this entire chat, and put it into Claude. And I have a fun tool for that too. Um, so we're going to be doing that. And then we are going to be able to actually start building it. So, anyways, come here and we say, okay, great. We are going to possibly have this one or possibly have this one. And so what I did was I said, all right, well, actually, can you give me multiple different ideas? Like provide multiple ideas for how the projects might go. So I took the ones that I liked, modified them such that, maybe I want it this way. But then I said, okay, now give me multiple different ideas for each of those projects which I'm kind of interested in. And that's what I did. I go here and here and here. So it gave me 4, yeah, 4 concepts for this physics sandbox, right? 5, okay, and then the tower defense one, right? And so then it gave me different ones like this, like this, like this. So then what I said was, okay, great. Let's go with the concept, like let's go with concept D, right? And so then I said, okay, here's kind of what we're going to do. And now let's actually flesh out what is this project going to look like. So we found the project that we want. Now let's actually go towards it. Right. Okay. So then it creates this long thing of the implementation. So come here and just explains it. Explains it, explains it, explains it, explains it. And then asked here, like, do you want me to do a starting render and everything? So I said yes, and then it comes here and does blah, 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 like this. Okay, great. Now we need some way to actually capture it. So I found this really, hold on. I found this really cool tool. It is here. It is, what's the name? Claude Capture, right? It also has a little spider right there. Yeah, you can just go on like Google and just do it's on the Chrome extension. I can maybe hold on. The Claude Capture. Here we go. Okay, yeah, so it's just Claude Capture here on the like Chrome store. And the idea is you're able to actually like save, export the conversations. So I find this tool extremely helpful because what you're able to do is I can show you what happens. You press this and then you can just do this grab. Bing. Okay. And there we go, right there. So now I have this, like I have the entire chat that I just did in my downloads. So now I can come here and I have this entire chat. So what I can do is I can save this. I can have it here on my local machine. I'm able to put it into other chats and give a context for what I want to do. All right, great. So now we want to actually use that. So what I do is I come here. No, this is not the right one. Here it is. So this is the Claude uh, work or co-work. Now, what I am able to do, you can see right here. So you just drag and drop. You just literally take this and then put it in here. And, oops, go back. Yeah. Anyways, I'll clean things up later. But you literally just drop it in there right here and say, let's start building this. It needs to have a fun and visual interface, right? Kind of like that. And then it starts building it. Okay. So now let me go. It's actually this one here, right? This is the tower defense one. Okay, so great. Now we have hit our, or we have been able to put in the project which we want to do. So now what we have to have it do is we are able, oh, I should show, okay, projects and then do a new project, right? And then existing folder and then select the folder that you want. And then you're able to just drag and drop that JSON file over into there. Okay, great. So now once we have put it in there, it's going to go out and it's going to happily build that first round idea of the project. All right, so then it's going to be in that folder that you just pointed to. And okay, great, then run it. And if you don't know how to run it, just literally ask Claude here, and it'll tell you how to run it. So run it, and now you're in the testing phase. Now what you want to do is find everything that doesn't quite work. Anything that you don't like, any of the styling, anything that you don't like. And then what you're able to do is, like, if you see something that you don't like, you just take a snippet, right? And then you're able to come here and then edit it and do a, like, oh, I don't like whatever it is, this, right? And you circle what you don't like, and then you're able to just take that photo, put it right back into Claude, and Claude just does it. Again, it is incredible how good it is. A lot of the projects that I have done recently, I don't even know what language they are written in because I have not needed to look at the code. It is incredible how they're doing that. So, okay, now you're in the testing phase. You're going to see what you like, what you don't like, and just explain, like, oh, fix this, fix the other thing. I don't like the style. Maybe it's too difficult. Maybe something is like not working, whatever it is, right? Just be able to explain what you're hoping for. And now you have that very general idea of the project, and now you're making it more specific into what you want. And the direction that we're going is we want to get a good base because then we're going to be using that base to actually make the real project. So once we get more towards the ending stages of, okay, yeah, this is kind of a good starting point for a project. Great, now it's time to create the actual documents that I mentioned, the two documents. And what I want to do is I am going to come in here and I'm trying to find the actual thing which I said. Hold on one second. Um, I am going, so this is all just kind of like the testing. I think here I have a very similar thing. So this is the implementation guide. I say like, can you do a full in-depth analysis of the current state of the project, then create an implementation guide inside of the implementation guide folder. So the inside of here, I have like a folder which is just implementation guide, and it'll create this markdown file. So it's what I am doing right here is I just say, all right, this guide should include all of the tasks and features which need to eventually be initially, come on, eventually added in the future to make this a really great game. And then say what the entire point of it is, right? So like for this one, the 3D browser, remember that the entire point of this project is to build the skills and explore topics in how to do 3D games, right? We want to be able to move forward and make it more and more complex and cover as many cool skills as possible. Um, okay, so what I want to do with this is now that we actually built the project, a base of the project, I want to be able to make an implementation step, like all of the different features that I want to put into the full featured idea of this project. So what I do need to encapsulate this and put it into a skill. I should be able to just like invoke it with a skill like this, right? Whatever it is, I need to make my own custom skill for it, but I haven't gotten there yet. Anyway, so I can just like put this in here, and the way that I want to do that is not only tell it what kind of uh, not just give it no direction of, oh, create an implementation guide to make this a great project, right? What is the point of the project? What are you trying to accomplish with the project? Where are you hoping that it's going to go? And then it's going to create this long, now I can open it here, right? But this is kind of, it doesn't do the markdown file very well. So let me come in here and I can go to like my GitHub and come here. And so you can see like it comes and says all of the different audio system and procedural design. So all of the things that it thinks would be good additions to the game. I can go read through this, and then now it's time to have a conversation again and say, all right, is this truly going in the direction that I want? And change the implementation guide to match my expectations and hopes for the project. Once you have the implementation guide, then you're able to actually start going through step by step by step by step, right? And implementing each of these things so that it becomes more and more of a full featured project. Now, the other document which I like to produce is going to be here called Concepts MD. So another markdown file. And what this one is even though the AI is doing an amazing job making all of these different projects, I still am curious about how is that working, right? What's going on? How is it doing this? And so let me show you how I create that document, which again, I also need to put this into a skill. So I said, I want you to once again write another engineering concepts. And because I actually wrote historical implementation. Okay, here we go. Here's the actual one, the first one that I did. Now write a comprehensive engineering concepts markdown file, which teaches all of the concepts utilized in this project. This should be very in-depth. The purpose of the document is to teach an engineer who comes from a background where the only software they have written is linear type of things, such as C or linear Python. So you will need to teach them and build them up. This document should be like a professor teaching concepts. This game has 3D models, movements, and so many concepts unfamiliar, but I really want to learn them. Okay, so priming the agent and saying who I am, what my background is, what my strengths already are, and then where my weaknesses are so that I'm able to really supercharge my learning and target those things that I don't really understand. And then I have a live example right in front of me. I have the code itself, so I can come here and I can read through this entire thing and talking about all of the different components about like how React works on how it's a function of the actual state, right? And so you're able to act on, you're not actually manipulating the DOM. What you're doing is you are like continually going through and updating the state, and then the DOM follows from that. So you're not the one actually doing it, right? So you're able to read through this, read through it, and then look at the examples. And then what you're able to do is you have the live document right here. So you're able to say, okay, let me go into the source code and look at it. Like, oh yeah, not the CSS. Where would my game loop be? I think it was in game. Hold up. Would a game loop be? I think one was in here. Start wave, yeah, here's a game loop, right? So in the concepts document, I was reading through it and it was talking about, okay, game loop, start wave. And so then I just go and I find, here it is. And then I read it and then I understand it. So now you have an example, a working example, along with a document which is targeted exactly to what you don't understand and where your weaknesses are. Not weaknesses, but just like what you have, what you're unfamiliar with is a much better way of putting it. And then you're able to target exactly what you are unfamiliar with and be able to build up the skills with the working example. I love this so much. I love it for so many reasons. Number one is, as I said, like I really enjoy the fact that I'm able to actually just go out and build so much. Number two is I really like that I'm able to go and target exactly what I don't understand and really gain a lot of confidence and be able to just supercharge my learning abilities. And I've been able to improve leaps and bounds as an engineer because I'm able to have AI build these projects, then go in and investigate what's going on, how is it working, every single point of confusion that I have, every point of unfamiliarity that I have. I'm able to go in and investigate it, and then I'm able to go and see the live working example and get an example of how it's actually operating within a real project. So, yeah, this is the way that I use AI. This is how I enjoy doing the workflows for creating a project and iterating on it, starting off with the idea, then trying to brainstorm, get a solid idea of, okay, well, here's the actual project that I want to do. Once we get the project, okay, capture that, put it into the agent, then do the testing of it, figure out what you like, what you don't like, is it going in the right direction? Great, now you have the base. Okay, once you have the base, then you create those two documents, the implementation guide for the full project and the concepts. And again, I do the concepts because as an engineer, I'm really interested in it. But if you aren't really wanting to be going in that direction, then that kind of makes sense for you to skip that part. But creating the concepts to be able to investigate every single concept which is utilized in this project, and then iterating over the implementation guide to say like, okay, well, now that we have a base, Now, what is the large project that we want to make? And then hitting those points, bang, 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 one at a time, and being able to build a better and better project. So that's how I do it. I would be curious if this is similar to how other people are doing it. I always love to hear how people are using AI, especially because right now it's very much a Wild West kind of environment where you don't really know what the optimal way to use it is. There's no standard. It's very much you have to figure out what works for you. And so I love hearing other people's ideas and how they're using it and how like by hearing how other people are actually utilizing and their workflows, you're able to get a better idea of, oh, I might want to integrate that into mine. I really like how they're doing that. And so, yeah, I would be very curious, how are you implementing your AI workflows? What kind of projects are you building? Where are you hoping to go with it? And any other thoughts that everyone has. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, subscribe. I'd love to have you around. And my name is Timothy Lee Grant. I will see you guys in the next video. All right, goodbye.